Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Moon Dancer. How you guys doing? In this video here, I am doing the hashtag Whatsyourcraft. And this is actually an old hashtag, but when it first came out, I was actually not a witchy YouTuber. So, I figured better late than never, right? So I'm doing it now. And I will also provide the links below to check it out yourself if you haven't done it already. And so yeah, there is, let's see, 30 questions about my craft. So let's get started. Number 1, when or how did you first know you were a witch? I didn't know right away. The more I studied and the more I learned, it was like the shoe fit, you know. The more I learned, I started to realize that this was for me. This was my path. This is what I want to do. And I studied for a year, so somewhere around in there, I guess you could say. Number 2, how long have you been practicing? Okay, like I said, I studied for a year, and then after a year, I self-dedicated myself, that sounded funny, to the practice, and it's been 4 years since then. So 5 years if you count the year I studied, which, you know, I really don't count it because, you know, I was still up in the air about whether it was for me or not, because that's the whole point in, you know, the recommendation of you studying for a year, is that way you know if it's right for you or not. So 4 years officially, we'll just say that. Let's see, number 3, what kind of witch are you? I am a eclectic witch. I don't follow one path. I have many, or I take, you know, bits and pieces of different traditions that work for me or that feel right to me, and I don't go by the Wiccan read. I kind of go by my own set of guidelines and laws. They're pretty close, or some of them are pretty similar, so there's not a huge difference there, but then there is at the same time. So yeah, I'm eclectic, and yay. Okay, next question. What path or tradition do you follow? I practice gray witchcraft because I like to have a balance of light and dark, and I fully believe in that balance. So I don't have a bit of problem doing some light magic or doing some dark magic, and that's why I do gray witchcraft. So, let's see. Number 5, is your craft devotional or circular? How do you incorporate your faith into your craft if you do? I would have to say my craft, is devotional because I do work with some gods and goddesses. My main goddess that I work with is Hecate. So, I consider that, devotional. And, I love working with my animal spirit guides. And that's kind of, on the same lines as that. And I'm very devoted to the elements, I do a lot of elemental work, so yeah. Let's see, number 6. Are you a closeted witch or in the open? If so, how do your friends or family feel about your path? I am wide open. It's all over my Facebook page. It's my everyday life. People from work, they know I'm a witch. Just very open about it. I think in the beginning I was kind of leery of telling too many people, but as I started to grow into my craft, it was just, one of those things. My mom, it took her a while to get used to that idea because I was born and raised in a Catholic family. So it took my mom a while to accept it, which I think she finally has. As for everybody else, my friends, my family, they really don't care. Like, I'm still me. I'm not different. And most of my family's kind of weird anyway, so, join in with the family. Let's see here. Number 7. Are you solitary or do you have a coven? I am solitary. I don't really have an interest in joining a coven. I think I did at one time, but then I was like, I really don't want to follow somebody else's rules though. Like, I like to follow my own. But I do want to go to like pagan festivals where they like have rituals that you can join in and stuff like that. And you know what, afterwards, unless you stay all night, you can just leave because it's not your coven. It's just kind of getting that coven experience without the coven. So I do want to attend one of those events without actually having to be in a coven because I want to stay solitary. So let's see here. Number 8. What is something you wish someone had told you, or something you wish you know or wish you knew when you first started? Honestly, there isn't anything because I had an excellent teacher. All my first set of books was passed down from my husband, which was passed down by his mom, and yeah, like if I had any questions or anything, he would answer it all, and he didn't really leave anything out. I didn't really have any big surprises. So I really don't have anything that I wish I knew when I started, because I was taught everything, I guess you could say that, and I had my head in the books like big time. Okay. Number 9. What resource was the most valuable for your beginning practice? What about now? Well, my mother-in-law's books, for one, and the first book I bought called How to Become a Witch. Those were my valuable resources. And now, I would say one of my most valuable resources is Amino, because I've actually read a lot of great content on there from other witches, and you'd be surprised just how much you can learn from other witches. And even if it's not an informational post, somebody's always posting like books and stuff like, hey, check out this witchy book. So then if it looks like one I'm interested in, well then I'm going to go read that book, right? I'm going to go buy it. So Amino has a way of learning from others and also learning about new resources, you know, outside of the Amino communities. So that's a pretty valuable resource all in itself. Alright, let's see. Number 10. What was your first spell? Was it successful? My first attempt at a spell was making a good luck charm, and absolutely no positively was it not successful, because I did it on I was trying to do it on an item that I shouldn't have been doing it on, because it was from a very devout Catholic person that had passed away. Well, you don't do witchcraft on an item like that. Just FYI, don't do it. So no, it was not successful. It was bad. Let's see. Number 11. What do you do when you feel out of touch with your craft? There is a place just a little ways outside of town. It's the river, and it's so gorgeous out there, and there's trees everywhere. There's a little waterfall, and it's just so calming and so beautiful. When I start feeling that I'm out of my craft, I go out there and I take in the earth, and I take in nature, and I take in all the elements around me, and you know, I'll even do like a meditation, and that always seems to pick me right back up, because it's very spiritual out there. It's very gorgeous. So I'd definitely say that. Yeah. Number 12. Have you ever doubted your faith or ability? I would say in the beginning, I did. Like, I was just kind of, you know, is this really for me? Am I going to screw it up? You know, am I just going to look like a fool? You know, it's actually really common that in the beginning, when you're just first learning, it's very common to have doubts. So if you have them, don't feel bad, because if witchcraft is for you, you will know. So just hang in there. Let's see. Number 13. What are some grounding techniques that you find work for you? I like to sit directly on the ground. You know, my palms down, so I'm getting fully connected. And I don't know if you've heard like of the silver cord, but you know, it's kind of like that. You know, I just picture it, you know, connected to the core's earth, and I just really feel the earth's energy and take it in, and yeah, like that right there is powerful. And another thing I like to do is walk around barefoot, you know, feel the earth beneath my feet, and feel the energy that way too. So those are 2 different ways that I like to ground. You're grounded. No, I'm joking. Alright, number 14. What's your biggest pet peeve in the magical community? It depends on what exactly this question means. If it's coming from somebody mundane, non-magical, my biggest pet peeve is when I get asked, can you do a magic trick? Can you turn somebody into a frog? Those get so annoying. If you're actually talking about within the magical community, like Witch from Witch, it'd probably have to say, since I not pick and choose, but since I use different traditions instead of, like just one, not all witches approve of that, and it gets kind of annoying when I get told about it, like, well, that's just not right. And especially if you mention that you don't follow the read. There's a lot of traditional witches that don't like that either, and it's not that I disagree with it, because that is not the case. It's just not for me. It's not from my craft, and I don't think anybody should tell anybody how to practice their craft, because I think it should be years and years alone. So those are some kind of pet peeves there. Number 15, what was your biggest spell disaster? Well, that goes back to the luck charm that I was talking about earlier. That was honestly a big disaster because it had a 100% different effect. Instead of good luck, it brought bad luck. So, again, don't do it. Not good. Number 15, what was your biggest... Oh, wait. That's the one we just did. Sorry. 16, what is your view on black magic? Well, since I practice gray witchcraft, I don't see anything wrong with black magic, provided that the person themselves, the ones that's doing it, has it, I guess, under control. Because, I do believe in the balance of light and dark. So you don't want too much dark. You don't want too much light. So as long as the practitioner is in control and not just all over the place with it, and yeah, then I actually don't see anything wrong with it. Let's see, 17. Is witchcraft an everyday thing, or is it only for special occasions? For me, it is every day. Even the most mundane things in my life, somehow witchcraft and magic find a way in them. Like taking a shower. I usually, a normal shower, soap and scrub and shampoo and all that, but I usually wind up doing a cleansing spell like every time. So like literally witchcraft is every day, every moment, every second. Alright, let's see. 18. Do you meditate? Yes, I do. I like to meditate on my own. I like to do guided meditations. I do meditate. And like that place I was telling you about, I do meditate out there, like I said. So, 19. Do you practice divination? If so, what techniques? Yes. I do tarot cards and fire scrying and mirror scrying. Those are the 3 that I do right now. I would like to learn runes, but I haven't got there yet. But those are my 3 so far. 20. Moon phases, planetary correspondences, day of the week, hour, irrelevant or key. The moon phases, yes, very much so. I go by the moon phase, every day, every night, and I practice a lot of moon magic, and all my magic is based mostly at nighttime. So moon phase is very key. Planetary correspondences, probably not so much. Day of the week and the hour, Not really. I think I used to like do day of the week in the beginning, but then I was just kind of, this kind of feels, ridiculous. So ridiculous. So the moon phases, but everything else is just irrelevant. 21. Spell language. Do you like it simple? Do you dress it up? Is it poetry? Is it silent? All my spells that I write myself, usually like 90% of the time, turn out to be poetry. Because before I even knew what witchcraft was, I already wrote poetry. I started writing poetry when I was in like 8th grade. So anytime I write a spell myself, it usually winds up sounding just exactly like a poem. So the only thing that I would say that I do silent would probably be like meditations and whatnot. But yeah. Number 22. Do you keep a book of shadows or a grimoire? I don't even think I said that right. Holy cow. I have tons of book of shadows. Like, I have more than one. I have one for my spells, one for my herbal remedies, one for my tarot readings. In my honest opinion, you can't have enough. I don't have a grimoire, but oh well. I got plenty of book of shadows to make up for that. So number 23. Do you have a altar? Is it dedicated to any specific deity, season, or anything else? Well, yeah, it's right there. My altar. It's not dedicated to any deity or anything in particular. Honestly, I just have it set up for my needs. I have something resembling all the elements and a few different things that are in my craft. Like I got an owl and whatnot, fairies, just not anything in particular. It's just I add to it, I take away from it. You never know what's gonna look like. Okay, next number. 24. Thoughts on the afterlife. I do believe in reincarnation. I do believe in past lives. I believe that Summerland is a possibility, that it's somewhere where we go until we move on to our next life. But reincarnation, definitely 100% believe in it, and past lives. So number 25. Do or would you teach and practice witchcraft to your children? I want my children to know all different religions and then let them choose what's right for them. If they come to me and they say specifically that, Mom, I want to learn witchcraft, then yes, I will have no problem teaching my child, witchcraft, and even practicing it with them. But that's if they want it, because I'm not going to force them into any religion. And that's just me and my husband's thing on that. So let's see. Number 26. Do you have a totem animal? If so, what it is? My totem animal is an owl. It's also my power animal. And like literally, you probably can't tell because like my sacred space is back a little ways, but there's actually a lot of owls back there. But so yeah, definitely the owl, and that's the only one I have. Number 27. What are some witch books that have influenced you? I mentioned earlier the first book that I actually bought myself, How to Become a Witch. That's a really good book. It covers the basics and helps you get started, and so I mean that was a major one. And then out of the books that I told you was passed down from my mother-in-law, there are these adorable little spell books. One's silver and one's black, and I thought they were just absolutely adorable. They were colorful. They kind of brought your attention, I guess, or at least someone like me. But I've actually used a few of the spells in there too, so those books are really cute. Let's see. Number 28. Tools. Handmade only. Natural materials only. I only need my will, or anything works if I want to use it. Honestly, anything works if I want to use it. A lot of my tools I have bought, so I couldn't really tell you if they're made on natural materials or not. But some things, like on my altar, I literally just pick off the ground. Like I have acorns, or not acorns, but I have pine cones. I have flowers that I've let dried up, and I kind of have them like arranged on a plate type thing. So it kind of varies, honestly, because if I find something I like and that I want to put on my altar, whether it's bought or it's from Mother Earth or whatever, then I'll just use it, right? So number 29. Do you have a magical name? No, I don't think so. Okay, I think you guys know better than that. Obviously it's Moon Dancer or Pain in the Butt, whichever one you want to go with. But yeah, I come up with that, well, I mean, for kind of obvious reasons. Most of my magic is based around the moon, and I like to dance. So, I mean, when I thought of it, when it came to me, it just fit, just like that. So, I mean, it's been Moon Dancer ever since. And last but not least, number 30. Favorites. Season, herb, crystals, rune, tarot card, symbol, or sigil. My favorite season is fall. I absolutely love the changing of the colors. And excuse me, Samhain and / Halloween are like my all-time favorite holidays. So I mean, that ties just right into it. You know, carving pumpkins, going on hay rides. Like, what is not to love about fall? For real. Herb, I'd have to say eucalyptus. It's got a lot of good medical properties, and it's actually really amazing. Just all the things that it can do to help. And I'd have to put lavender on that list too, because I mean, who doesn't love lavender, you know? It's very calming, it smells great, you know. Crystal, my favorite crystal is amethyst. It always has been. It probably has a lot to do with the fact that it's purple, but you know, oh well, we all gotta have our favorite crystal, right? I don't have a favorite rune. Like I said, I haven't actually got to get into those yet, so who knows? Tarot card. My favorite tarot card is the moon. Who would have guessed that one? Symbol or sigil. My favorite symbol, well, one of my favorite symbols is the triqueta, and I really hope I'm saying that right, because I'm really bad at jumbling up that word. But I really like that, and you know, it's also like an Irish, like Celtic thing, and I have an Irish background, yay! But it's a very beautiful symbol, and it's also a good protection symbol. So that is definitely one of my favorites. That is actually all of the questions. Like I said, if you guys want to do this tag, I will have the links below for that. If you haven't already done it already, because like I said, this is actually an old tag, but when it first came out, I was not a witchy YouTuber at the time. And don't forget to give Ashley Michele some love. Go over to her channel, give her some love, because she's the creator of this tag, and I'll have her link below too, with all the aminos I'm in, so you guys can come check us out. And I hope to see your guys' answers to these questions. So I'm going to tag all of you. Anybody who watches this video, tag your it. So there you go. You guys have a blessed day, and don't forget to dance under the moon.
Into superstitions, black cats and voodoo dolls. I've got a premonition that girl's gonna make me fall.